Good evening. A couple of weeks can make a whole lot of difference in the garden around here in Georgia. We went from severe drought to raining every day. And it's been so wet for the last week, I hadn't been able to get the tractor in the garden, so I'll show you a little bit of what we got going on. Here's my butter beans I planted at the beginning of the garden there, I guess like the second week of April. They was a little bit skippy, but they filled on in pretty good. They in full bloom now. Won't be long. There's a little bitty butter bean starting to form. They looking pretty good, but the grass is getting a hold too. Like I say, it's so wet I can't get the tractor in. A week ago, let's see, last week, those butter beans there wasn't so bad. The other two spots I planted, they didn't germinate hardly at all because of the drought. So I had tillered up and replanted several other spots, and I added some more here. These last 3 rows here I planted last week. 2 of those are zipper peas. These 2 here are zipper peas, and they, with all this rain, they sprouted real good. Like I said, the problem is going to be keeping ahead of this crabgrass is coming. And I got 1 row of green beans there. It sprouted pretty good. A little spot there in the middle is just now coming out, but I think they'll be okay. I got more butter beans up there on top of the hill. I woke up and show you those. I planted the same day I did these. They sprouted real good this time. This bottom row here is green beans. And there's quite a few little green beans on them, so it won't be, they're getting really close to be picking some of these here. First of the week, we'll be picking green beans. Look at them hanging under there. Another day, we may be picking a few. Tomatoes are doing pretty good. Lots of green ones. I hadn't picked any yet, but I got an orange one shining there. It's about the size of a baseball, I guess. But they're coming along. It won't be long now. We'll be eating tomatoes, so all of those are looking pretty good. Been picking jalapenos. Got plenty of those coming. Banana peppers, been picking those also. Sweet bananas. These are my climbing green beans. I put this little arch up. You can see they're just about all the way to the center of the arch now. Probably halfway, they almost to meet in the middle, really. I guess that side over there, you might see it has already. So, they're doing real good. Got some Got a cucumber on each corner mixed in with them. You can see the yellow bloom there. That's a cucumber. So it's climbing up here with the beans. I got one of those on each corner. See the little blooms on the sides there. Hadn't seen any blooms on the green beans. Yeah, I guess that's pretty close to there popping out. That looks like a little green bean starting to form. There's some more. They won't be long. We'll have a few green beans growing. I got 4 cucumbers out here on the ground. They've been doing pretty good. Like I said, there's been so much rain. Look, there's a little bit of mold on that one. It's been so wet. They ain't been able to dry out for over a week now. So, here's my little short row of okra. They coming on good. I need to thin those out just a little bit. We've been picking lots of broccoli and cauliflower. There's a cauliflower left, but all of those cauliflowers there's already been picked. We still got the broccolis will come back and make again, so we're still eating on some second rounds on the broccolis. But they don't like this heat. You can see how those is kind of trying to flower a little bit. But we're still getting a few small ones. Squash and zucchinis, we've been picking quite a few of those. Those were the original plants there on the end, and then all of these were some seeds I planted, so hadn't started picking any off of these seeds yet, but they jumping. They got blooms on them. They look beautiful. Let's see. I don't see a squash under there, but it got to be close. There's one trying to form. So, yeah. We've been eating quite a bit of squash already, but had some today. But we're going to be covered up with them here pretty quick. There's something coming along. With all of those, we'll be more squash and we know what to do with. Walk up here and show you my new butter beans. Here's my butter beans. What I got? 5 rows here. They all sprouted really good in this rain. Like I say, first planting didn't get good germination. This second round is like 100%. And you got the good old coffee weeds are coming everywhere. See, this is new ground up here, so hopefully it'll dry out enough I can get the Farmall through here pretty quick and knock them back under control. Coffee weed's pretty easy. Some of that grass, crabgrass, is worse. Sweet potatoes doing fairly good. They spreading on out. Got sunflowers here that I planted. They up about chest high, I guess. Let me see if there's a bloom. Looks like a bloom down there. Yeah. It ain't opened up yet, but that looks like it's gonna be the first bloom. Okay. They're looking pretty good. Look at the corn over here. I had hoped to run the Farmall through the corn one last time and heal it. I hadn't healed it yet, but I think it's too late. It's over with. Actually raining right now on me, and it has rained several times a day for a week and a half now. Still got more coming. The top leaves is probably up to my shoulders here. The tallest parts, some of it's a little bit less, but it's close to where I couldn't get the Farmall over it. But like I say, I don't see no dry period in time. The next few days, I'm afraid it's too late. Probably not getting the Farmall back in the corn. Yeah, I'm afraid it's over with as far as getting back in hand with the Farmall. Looks good though. I thought about doing one more pass of nitrogen, but you really don't have to have it. You can see the color looks really good. What I wanted was to get it healed where the wind couldn't blow it over, and I don't think it's gonna happen now. But we'll see. This honey select, it don't seem to put out the brace roots like some of that stuff does. Some of the corns will do better. But you sell a little early, but I don't, this stuff, it seems to blow over really easy. So it is what it is at this point. But a fairly decent stand of it. My nutrients is a little different in the middle. I don't know, you may not can tell. There's a little dip in the height right out there in the middle. It's just the dirt. The color of the dirt's different. But overall, pretty decent stand. Here's the turkey toes. I've been having a few asking about those. Anyway, they coming along. They ain't quite started blooming, but they're getting ready to. I don't see any blooms yet. There's some really trying to down in the bottom. It won't be too long. They was a little bit skippy, I think, from that drought when I planted, but what I got here is enough to save. We've been pulling onions. Pretty close to pulling all of them now, but it's getting about time to pull all of them, but there's what the weeds hadn't taken over. That's about softball size there. It's pretty good size. But there's plenty around that size. That's bigger diameter probably than softball. That's more like baseball. Texas super sweets. Ooh, there's a really big one. But it's still growing. I'm gonna have to, this heat's gonna get them. They may get another week. There's one tried to bloom. That one's bloomed out. It's on this smaller one too. I'll go ahead and pull it. That's bigger than a golf ball, but smaller than a baseball. That's kind of smaller one, but this has got the bloom on it. I'll go with it. So there's still quite a few onions in here.